In next about 15 minutes, I will give you a presentation on the topic, a sustainable approach to stay healthy and safe in highly polluted cities and mitigate global warming and climate change. This presentation is dedicated to the memories of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, late President of India. This was his dream, a livable planet Earth. On the fateful day of 27 July 2015, while Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was speaking to the students at IIM Shillong Auditorium, he wanted to communicate his views to the world on livable planet Earth. But this topic remained incomplete that day, since all of a sudden he stopped speaking and later he breathed his last. A dream of missile man of India, which remained incomplete that day, will now be fulfilled by his scientific disciple, the bunker man of India. Yes, we at Bunkerman in India have recently invented an indigenous technology which will save the planet Earth from getting destroyed in future due to increasing pollution, global warming and climate change in the world. This technology of Bunkerman will ensure to fulfill the dream of our late President of the People and the Missile Man of India. This technology aims to achieve the following Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. Goal number 11, make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. Goal number 13, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Gentlemen, you know the entire world is facing the following problems today. First problem is pollution in all big cities is increasing day by day. And indoor air is found to be more toxic than outdoor air, which is causing adverse effects on human health. And the problem of global warming and climate change in the entire world is already well known to all of you. Now, if you see this graph gives the carbon dioxide content in the atmospheric air from the year 1000 to 2000. For several thousand years, the CO2 content in the atmosphere was ranging around 280 parts per million, plus minus 10-20. Up to about 18th century, it remained around 280 parts per million to 300 parts per million. But after the start of the industrial era in 19th century, the CO2 level in the atmosphere started increasing. And in the recent decade, you can see that this is having an exponential increase. And today, the CO2 level in environment, which used to be 280 parts per million, it has already crossed a value of about 420 parts per million today. Now, if we do not find solutions and technology to arrest this increasing trend of CO2, then this is what is going to happen in the coming future. In this graph, you can see that the CO2 level, if it is allowed to increase at present rate, then by about 2090, it will cross a safe limit of 800 parts per million. And then the people will start having many problems. Now, if still we sleep over and we do not use the modern systems and technologies to arrest this rising trend of CO2, then by the year 2200, it will cross a very dangerous level of 5000 parts per million. And at this level of CO2 on the earth, there will be danger to the life on the earth, including the human life. The next graph, you can see here that the safe value of carbon dioxide in environment is about 700 to 800 parts per million. Shri and IJRECE are the organizations who have specified that this value should not cross more than 1000 parts per million in any environment, indoor as well as outdoor. So if this level is crossed, then the complaints of stuffiness and odors, general drowsiness and adverse health effects are expected to rise in the environment. So this CO2 level has to be kept below 800 parts per million in all indoor as well as outside environment for human health. Now, if it increases to a higher level of 5000 parts per million, as I explained you earlier, then it may lead to serious oxygen deprivation, resulting into permanent brain damage, coma and even death. So you can say that life on this planet is expected for another maximum 2 centuries. By 2200, no human being will be able to survive on this planet. Now, this graph shows that earlier, prior to 19th century, when there was no industrialization, trees and plants were providing us of oxygen. They were also providing us food. Human beings and all livestock on the earth were eating this food, taking the oxygen, and we were converting it into carbon dioxide. And whatever carbon dioxide was being generated till 19th century by human beings, by pets and animals, it used to be absorbed by trees and plants, and trees and plants were giving us again oxygen and food. So this was the sustainable cycle which was there on this earth planet prior to 19th century. But after 19th century, when uncontrolled industrialization took place, then more carbon dioxide and toxic gases were generated on the planet. Now, this additional carbon dioxide or toxic gases have to be absorbed by some system, by some technology like Bunkerman technology. So all these CO2, TVOC and other pollutants will be absorbed in Bunkerman filters. Now, once the filters get saturated, they will be sent to an organic manure plant where the material from these filters will be used to manufacture the mineral-rich organic manure. And this organic manure goes to the roots of the plants. It is mixed in the earth and then it gives good nutrients to the plants, and then we again get the oxygen and food from the plants. So this whole system becomes a sustainable ecosystem by use of this technology, and this is a very prominent approach to reduce the global warming and climate change in the world. When a human being inhales carbon dioxide, inhales the air from the environment, that air contains only 0.03% carbon dioxide. But the exhaled air contains 4.38% carbon dioxide. It means that human beings, in one inhale and exhale, they multiply the carbon dioxide in the environment by 146 times. So this is what is changing the environment. So human, in fact, is one of the biggest pollution creating machine on the earth, and therefore we have to convert the human beings into a pollution removal machine. This is the concept which Bunkerman is proposing. This is the concept. When two persons meet in a cafe like this, now this is the device which Bunkerman has produced. This is meant to be carried by each individual. So whatever carbon dioxide by one individual is generated, it is absorbed by the filters in this device. This device can be carried, it runs on battery, it has got a chargeable battery, and whatever carbon dioxide is generated by human beings, it absorbs into these filters. Even if you are traveling in a train, you carry your device, and whatever carbon dioxide is generated by one person, it is absorbed in these devices. Similarly, in cars, we are providing indoor CO2 absorption devices. These devices are so designed that the moment carbon dioxide level inside your car goes above 800 parts per million, they start filtering automatically, and when the CO2 level comes down to about 400 parts per million, acceptable level, then they get automatically switched off. Similarly, to clean the air from outside environment, we have devised a car outdoor unit. This is fitted in each and every car, and when cars moves on road, then they keep collecting the pollution from the air, including carbon dioxide, TVOC and all toxic gases. Now you can imagine that if this is the traffic moving on cars, and each car or each vehicle, bus or truck is fitted with this device, then they can keep absorbing the carbon dioxide and other pollutants from the air. So each car or each truck will act equivalent to 2 to 4 trees. This is the strength of the device, that one tree absorbs about 25 kg of carbon dioxide in a year. If these devices are fitted, they will absorb about 50 to 100 kg of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So even a moving traffic on the road will act as mobile green forest on wheels by this new technology. Also, for human being, you have seen that earlier people were staying in independent houses, but now the culture is changing. People are moving to the urban areas and they are staying in builder floors or multi-story apartments. So there is a concentration of population taking place in these places. And if concentration of population is taking place, the concentration of carbon dioxide generated by these people is also taking place. So Bunkerman is proposing that each house of this type should have a device fitted, or in a house of 2 to 4 bedroom house, if we fit these devices, they act equivalent to 12 number of trees per house. Now you can imagine that if a concrete jungle, which we call the big cities, if each house is having this equipment of Bunkerman fitted in them, they will clean the environment inside the house, and also they will clean the environment outside the house. So your concrete jungles will start behaving or start acting as natural forest, and then the entire city can be clean of pollution and toxic gases. Carbon dioxide and TVOC removal device. This device has been designed for a room of size 5 meter by 4 meter. This has got a filter inside, it has got a fan, and it has got a facility management system fitted inside. In facility management system, the facility is provided for the user to fix the minimum value of CO2. Like here we have fixed 400 parts per million is the minimum value, and maximum value of CO2 800 parts per million. And it displays the CO2 value in the room and TVOC value contents in the room. So this facility management system is so designed that when the carbon dioxide level in your room goes above 800 parts per million, the devices switch on automatically and it starts filtering the air. The air in the room goes into the device from top, it goes through the filters, and from here, from this vent, it comes back to your room. I will show you the filter position. If you open the device from rear, this is the filter. This contains around 13 kg of material which absorbs carbon dioxide, TVOC and other pollutants from the room. This is meant for indoor air quality management system. Now once this system filter gets saturated in 1 month or 2 months time, depending on the use and size of the room and its occupants, then we replace this filter with a new filter. And the old filter is sent to an organic manure plant where it is opened and its material is used to make the mineral-rich organic manure. This device absorbs CO2 from the environment, which is equivalent to 2 numbers of fully grown trees of 10 to 15 years of age. You can use this device in your bedroom, in your drawing room, or even in your office. Now, indoor air quality management system, which is provided by Bunkerman, it has got carbon dioxide removal system, oxygen replenishment system, odor TVOC removal system, NBC filtration system, compressed air system, and facility management system. I will explain it in the next slide. Now, this slide shows that this is a closed room in button-up mode. Let us say there is an emergency, there is a nuclear attack, biological attack, or a chemical attack, or there is a corona type disaster in which virus has come in the air. So we recommend that you close yourself inside your house, close all doors and windows, and have this system fitted in your house. So when you remain closed in a house or in a room, the carbon dioxide level keeps on increasing. And the moment carbon dioxide level reaches 800 parts per million, this system automatically starts filtering the air through this, and the carbon dioxide and TVOC are absorbed in this filter. So thus the carbon dioxide level in this facility is always maintained between 800 parts per million and 400 parts per million. Now for 24 hours, then you don't face any problem of oxygen, but after 24 hours, if you remain in button-up mode, then the oxygen level, which is about 21% in the natural air, it is depleted to a level of 17%. And beyond 17%, it becomes dangerous if the people will start fainting below 17%. So this system automatically senses the oxygen level in the system, and the moment oxygen level goes down below 17%, it adds additional oxygen into the room and makes the percentage as 21%. Now, similarly, if you stay in button-up mode for a longer duration, the negative pressure develops inside the room because some of the oxygen is permanently consumed by human beings. It goes into our blood, it goes into our lungs. So we always keep this facility in a positive pressure at about 50 Pascal positive pressure. And this facility management system which is fitted in the room, and this senses whenever the pressure level goes down below 50 Pascal, a compressed air cylinder opens up this valve and the pressure is maintained. So a natural environment is being maintained by this building management system or the facility management system inside your house. It will ensure three things. Firstly, it will ensure the carbon dioxide level is not allowed to increase more than 800 parts per million. The oxygen level, it will ensure that it does not go beyond 17%. And pressure, also it will ensure that your facility will always remain at a positive pressure of 50 Pascal or as you said the value, so that no outside air can enter your house, because outside air is contaminated, it is toxic. So if there is a possibility of any leakage from your house, only inside air will leak out to outside environment. So you can safely stay in your house in any nuclear, biological or chemical disaster. Now another added advantage of this we have found that in air conditioning system, in central AC system, generally to maintain the desired level of carbon dioxide, we apply number of air changes. Generally 4 to 12 air changes per hour are required to be applied to all air conditioned buildings like cinema halls and other hotels, etc. So here if you use this carbon dioxide removal system inside your facility, then carbon dioxide, whatever is generated by the human beings, it is absorbed by our filters and you need not go for air changes. So there is a lot of saving in the electricity, the heat load, and also the design capacity of the air conditioning plant can be reduced by about 30%. So by employing this system, you reduce the design capacity of air conditioning plant by about 30%, and another about 30% saving is implemented by electricity consumption. So it is a huge saving, and in this saving only we can install this CO2 removal system combined with the air conditioning. Now we are happy to say that on 26 June 23 the Government of India has published a Gazette notification for Green Credit Program. Now we recommend that the technology of CO2 removal invented by bunkermen, they should be covered under this Green Credit Program. Conclusions, I would like to say that we should adopt sustainable processes of today to save this earth planet for our future generations. The public awareness and education is must, and the present Global Education Conclave is a right step forward in this direction. We have to pledge कि हमें दुनिया को तबाही से बचाना है. We have to save the world from destruction. भारत को विश्व गुरु बनाना है. Let India be the world leader, because this technology is totally indigenous and India should take the lead to lead the world to eradicate this global warming and climate change from the entire world. And time to do this work is today. We have to act now. As President Obama commented on COP21, that we are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it. So let us start removing this global warming and climate change from the world by using bunkerman technology. And the environment in India is very favorable. Our government has already undertaken several schemes like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. G20 summit is going on in India. I have recommended to the Prime Minister that we should take the cooperation of all G20 nations, and this technology of bunkerman has to be adopted on world level under the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Make in India campaign is going on. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Ujjwala scheme, COVID-19 immunization is taking place in India. So all these schemes can be supported by this bunkerman technology. And more important is elections are coming in 2024. So I have recommended to the government that they should approach the political parties. They should include this as a point in their manifesto to eradicate global warming and climate change from the world. Thank you.